Hi, I'm Dr. Jerry Jackson, out with the wild things. The German word for bat, Fledermaus, offers a fair description of first impressions of what bats are, flying mice. But bats are not rodents. Their small, furry bodies and big ears only make them look like flying mice. Their arms are short, but their fingers are long and joined together by thin webs of skin that extend to the hind legs to form their wings. Their tiny hind legs are also linked by webs to the tail, forming another flight surface that can function as an aerial brake or as a scoop used to capture flying insects. Bats are in a group of mammals all by themselves. There are nearly 1,000 species of bats in the world and at least 14 kinds found in Florida. Florida bats feed at twilight and at night on flying insects, and some migrate to the tropics for the winter. Some, such as the northern yellow bat, the evening bat, and the Brazilian free-tailed bat, are found throughout the state. Others just barely get into Florida. These include the Indiana bat, an endangered species rarely found in Florida's panhandle, and the Florida bonneted bat, a species found only in South Florida. Watch on a summer evening anywhere in Florida near water and you're likely to see bats, unless you are in an area that is heavily sprayed with pesticides. Bats are very sensitive to pesticides because pesticides kill their food supply and because they themselves can be poisoned by them. Bats are often seen feeding over water for 3 reasons. It's usually more open and easier for bats to maneuver, there are more insects in areas near water, and in the open, it's easier for you to see the bats. Bats are also often seen flying about lights, capturing insects attracted to the lights. The southeastern bat of North Florida tends to feed over water, flying close to the water's surface to capture emerging or egg-laying insects such as mosquitoes. The Florida bonneted bat tends to fly high so that it is rarely seen. Bigger bats tend to feed on larger insects, smaller ones on smaller insects. Some feed in forested habitats, others almost exclusively over water. What all Florida bats share is a voracious appetite. Most can eat half their weight in insects each night. That amounts to the equivalent of about 3,000 mosquitoes. Indeed, Florida's bats are one of the most efficient natural mosquito controllers we have. In northern states, many bats gather in large numbers in caves and other hidden places, sharing body warmth, but lowering body temperature and rate of metabolism to conserve energy as they hibernate through the winter. During cold weather in Florida, bats go into a short period of inactivity that is similar. It's called torpor. By lowering their rate of metabolism, bats save energy and survive a long time on their fat reserves. A place where bats spend the winter is called a hibernaculum. For some species, the hibernaculum is a cave. In Florida, it's more likely to be a hollow tree, a cluster of dried palm fronds, or some recess in a building. Somewhere dark, protected from weather, and safe from disturbance. If bats are disturbed in a hibernaculum, they wake up and become active, burning a great deal of energy. Even disturbance for a short period results in energy loss that may mean the bat won't survive the winter. Hibernation of bats in winter is an important adaptation that allows them to survive not only periods of cold, but periods when their food supply, flying insects, is not available. If you find a group of roosting bats during cold weather, do not disturb them. A short disturbance can mean death. As with all mammals, bats nourish their young with milk. Females of many bat species gather in what is called a maternal colony in early spring. A maternal colony is located in a protected site, such as in a cave, a hollow tree, in the attic of a building, or in a bat house. Other bats, such as our yellow bat, are solitary. The yellow bat often roosts alone and raises its young alone under palm fronds or in a clump of Spanish moss. Female bats usually give birth to 1 or 2 pups, rarely up to 4, depending on the species. Bat pups tend to be born during May or June in Florida, coinciding with warmer weather and the onset of the rainy season, when there are more flying insects to eat. The female nourishes her young with milk, and they grow rapidly and are able to fly within 2 to 5 weeks. Disturbing bats when they have young often leads to the death of the young. Adult bats rushing to leave a roost site that is disturbed may knock young to the ground. Only when bats are very young can their mothers sometimes move them. At night, young bats cling to the roost site while their mother is out feeding. The best housing for bats is housing they select for themselves. However, human alteration of habitats has reduced availability of natural roost sites for many bats. Bat houses can be put up to help bat populations and to take advantage of the voracious appetites bats have for flying insects. A bat house is similar to a birdhouse, but think big. It should be about 2 feet tall. Bat houses are open at the bottom, and that's where bats enter. Inside the bat house are partitions of rough wood, spaced 3/4 to 1.5 inches apart, to which the bats can cling. Bats like to slip into tight crevices. Small bats, such as our little brown bat, prefer a smaller crevice. Commercial houses are sometimes too small, and some are made of smoothly finished wood. Also, don't paint the bat house. A bat house should be placed at least 10 to 15 feet up in a site with an open flyway leading to the house opening. For more information on Florida bats and bat houses, visit the Florida Bat Conservancy website at floridabats.org. With the Wild Things is produced at the Whitaker Center and the College of Arts and Sciences at Florida Gulf Coast University. For the Wild Things, I'm Dr. Jerry Jackson.